Hello, my name is Sakiko Mori. I was born and brought up in Sasebo, and I came back to work here in 1992 after graduating from a university in Tokyo. I'm standing here today in Sasebo Seaside Park, a pleasant and elegant new park built while I was away in Tokyo. Living here as a working member of society, I can see the great changes that the city is undergoing. And now, Sasebo is celebrating the 90th anniversary of its municipalization. I would like to take you on a tour of the Sasebo of today and tomorrow. Before we start, I think it's important to have a look at the history of the city. I spoke with an elderly gentleman about Sasebo's colorful past. What sort of town was Sasebo originally? You know, Sasebo was just a little fishing village before the 1870s. What was the population? Oh, less than 4,000. It was a tiny little place, but in 1883, a warship called the Daini Tebo came here to conduct surveys, and as a result, Sasebo was chosen as the site for a naval station the following year. It was this event that sparked the development of the city. At the time, the government of Japan was bent on strengthening the country's industries and armed forces. Sasebo became a boomtown. People poured in from the neighboring areas, pushing the population up to about 50,000 and transforming the village of Sasebo into a thriving city almost overnight. It went right from village to city status? Yes, that's right. It was an epic-making event, and Sasebo continued to flourish as a result of national policy during the subsequent Russian-Japanese War and World War I. It became the fourth largest city in Kyushu and the foremost naval port in the Orient. That's amazing! But isn't a naval port a dangerous place to live? It certainly is. The Pacific War broke out in 1941, and Sasebo was subjected to a massive American air raid on the nights of June 28th and 29th, 1945. Two-thirds of the city was reduced to ruins. It was a terrible disaster, and hundreds of people were killed. The city of Sasebo was burned to the ground. After the war, Sasebo strived to become a city of peaceful industry. Everyone was sick of war. After being designated as a trade port and making a peace declaration in the year 1950, Sasebo took up the task of building a harbor city bustling with industries devoted to peace. The Korean War broke out on the heels of the peace declaration, and Sasebo became a frontline base for UN forces. An American base was established here and was followed 3 years later by a base for the Japanese self-defense forces. Then, because of the base, Sasebo was visited for the first time in Japan by an American nuclear submarine and a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. The city was thrown into confusion each time. Did the same thing happen when Japan's first nuclear-powered ship, Mutsu, entered Sasebo? Yes, but this was only one part of Sasebo's post-war period. Built on former naval facilities, the SSK shipyard became a pillar of the city economy. The Nishomaru and other jumbo tankers were built here, bringing great prosperity to the people of Sasebo. At one time, the shipbuilding industry experienced a slump, but there has been a lot of good news recently, hasn't there? Yes, indeed. The Kajukishima Islands and other tourist attractions gained attention after the war, and in 1955, Saikai National Park was designated by the Japanese government. This was delightful news, and it has allowed us to promote Sasebo as a tourism center rich in places of interest. Sasebo has a fascinating history, doesn't it? Sasebo has come down through the decades as the core city of northern Nagasaki Prefecture, as a military base and shipbuilding center, and as the gateway to the beautiful Saikai National Park. But in 1992, the 90th anniversary of the municipalization of Sasebo, we're witnessing an epoch-making event that promises to write a new chapter in this colorful history. That event is the appearance of Nagasaki Holland Village, House Tembosch, said to be the largest waterfront resort in Japan. The first phase of construction cost an amazing 220 billion yen. The resort employs some 4,000 people and spreads over an area twice as large as Tokyo Disneyland. This was originally built as the site for an industrial complex, but no industries came, and when I was in high school, it was just a desolate field of weeds. But now look at it. It's incredible. The resort facilities have no equal elsewhere in Japan. They include authentic Dutch-style brick buildings, canals and waterfront in an excellent natural environment, culture, art and sports facilities, and luxurious hotels. I could hardly suppress my pride and joy when my university friends asked me to take them to House Tembosch. Sasebo, the home of House Tembosch. House Tembosch, the prize of Sasebo. To the citizens of Sasebo, House Tembosch is indeed a treasure. The city of Sasebo made a tourism city declaration with the launching of the House Tembosch project. The declaration paved the way for the improvement of tourism facilities and the promotion of an urban infrastructure conducive to a comfortable lifestyle, not to mention economic vitalization and the expansion of employment opportunities. A number of large-scale projects are already underway to make Sasebo a bright and comfortable city of the 21st century that appeals to young and old alike. The improvement of transportation networks is an indispensable factor in the development of an affluent city, and the construction of expressways brings particularly significant changes to industry and lifestyles. As a first step, Sasebo aims for the completion of the Sasebo branch of the Western Kyushu Expressway. The project calls for the redevelopment of the area from Sasebo Railroad Station, Sasebo's main gateway, to the commercial district of Yonkacho and Sankacho and its transformation into an attractive new cityscape. More specifically, this ambitious project involves the replanning of streets in the station area, the elevation of train tracks, the construction of pivotal facilities and other structures, and the improvement of shopping arcades. Sasebo Harbor has many faces. It is a terminal for ferries to the Goto Islands and other destinations, a shipbuilding center, a base for the U.S. Navy and Japan's self-defense forces, and a bustling trade port. Aiming at the improvement of the Miura district as a commercial port, this project will create a rich new harbor space through the construction of the terminal buildings and a park for the enjoyment of all, and the reclamation of land from the sea in front of the fish market. Because these plans center around the Sasebo Station area, a comprehensive approach is necessary. This is what the area will look like after completion. The U.S. Navy base is of course an important factor, but foreigners are a common sight in Sasebo and blend easily into the fabric of the city. The area around Nimitz Park in particular is one of Sasebo's most popular meeting places for people of different cultures and languages. In August every year, Sasebo comes alive with the Saikai American Festival. An incredible 200,000 people turn out and join in the fun. It is a festival that brings Japanese and American people together. Of course, the Sasebo calendar is dotted not only with these new events, but also with a colorful variety of traditional festivals. Preserving and cultivating these festivals is our important responsibility. The Kujukishima area has come into the limelight as a mecca for marine sports enthusiasts. I have enjoyed this panoramic scenery since childhood. It is a joy to know that we are living in the midst of this abundant and beautiful natural environment. Sasebo continues to undergo great changes, and now the municipal centennial is just around the corner. But however great the changes, I know that this natural beauty and the spirit of hospitality will remain forever as Sasebo's most precious treasures.